For 13 years, this was crowned the world's best airport, but Singapore just broke ground on something nearly twice its size. Meet Terminal 5, a $10 billion island of steel rising from reclaimed seabed, topped with a vast leaf-shaped roof and wired with enough solar power to light a small city. It'll add 50 million new passenger seats and over 100 additional gates, pushing Changi past 140 million travellers a year. And if that's not ambitious enough, each concourse can seal itself off into a pandemic-ready bubble in a matter of hours. This is the airport revolutionising Asian aviation, Singapore Changi's $10 billion expansion. Asia-Pacific air travel is climbing around 8% a year, and Singapore sits right at the crossroads, perfectly placed to catch that wave. Aviation already delivers about 5% of the nation's entire GDP and over 200,000 jobs, yet Changi's 4 existing terminals are edging towards their combined 90 million passenger cap. If new gates don't appear, those flights and the money they carry will land somewhere else. All the way back in 1981, when Changi first opened, one terminal handled a fraction of today's traffic. Then came Terminal 2, Terminal 3 and the awe-inspiring Jewel. But none match the scale or stakes of Terminal 5. With global air travel forecast to double by the early 2040s, and Asia leading that boom, Changi is racing to stay ahead. So in 2013, Singapore answered with Terminal 5. When Phase 1 completes, it'll bring 50 million seats, 71 contact gates, and a 3-runway airfield that lifts total capacity beyond 140 million passengers a year. But then the world shut down, and just like that, the cranes stopped. But Singapore didn't waste the pause, it rethought everything.
We made use of that time to refresh, to update our plans, to do value engineering, to see how we can do further fine-tuning.
So rather than one vast hall, T5 was reimagined as a series of modular concourses, each able to operate as a self-contained sub-terminal during outbreaks. Dedicated HVAC zones, check-in halls, boarding gates, and segregated baggage decks meant entire wings can be isolated without closing the whole hub. But before any of that could work, Singapore had to solve something much simpler, and much harder: heat. Terminal 5 is rising just 1 degree north of the equator on open reclaimed land. Without intervention, its roof could bake the concourse below to over 80 degrees Celsius. So they took a lesson from nature and built a forest canopy from steel. Stretching across the concourses are prefabricated roof leaves, curved shells that bounce daylight deep inside, spill monsoon rain where drainage wants it, and shades the building, just like the forest canopies that inspired them. Beneath those giant steel leaves, light filters down through slatted ceilings that mimic the soft glow beneath a eucalyptus grove. It's a roof that cools the building without ever turning on a fan. Supporting that canopy is thousands of tons of steel, spanning 4 levels of terminal space and hiding HVAC catwalks, fire suppression lines, and mechanical systems in a seamless overhead skin. Generating up to 43 megawatts of clean electricity, Singapore's largest rooftop solar array will sit across the terminal, enough to power 20,000 HDB flats, or put another way, a small city. Down on the apron, every new ground vehicle, from baggage tugs to tow tractors, will run fully electric, powered by a network of over 300 EV charging points. It's part of the Clean Energy Apron, a system designed to cut emissions from the ground up, before a single jet powers up. And Changi isn't stopping there. Terminal 5 will integrate advanced rainwater harvesting systems, capturing thousands of litres of rainfall every year to significantly reduce water usage across the sprawling airport complex. Towering vertical gardens, lush indoor landscaping, and strategically placed water features will do more than just beautify the terminal. They'll naturally moderate temperatures, enhance air quality, and support biodiversity. It's part of Singapore's broader ambition to set the global benchmark for sustainable aviation infrastructure. But for Terminal 5 and the wider Changi East development to truly succeed, one more critical upgrade is needed, and it's happening just beyond the glass. To handle the surge in aircraft, Singapore is reactivating and extending a former military runway on the Changi East site, pushing it out to 4 kilometers in length. That'll give Changi 3 parallel runways, each long enough for fully loaded A380s and spaced for independent triple operations, meaning 3 planes can land or take off at the same time. And the impact is truly massive, up to 30% more aircraft movements per hour and far less congestion on the taxiways. But 3 runways need more than tarmac. So engineers are carving 40 kilometers of new taxiways, threading them between service roads, fuel lines, and underground logistics networks, and some of it on fresh reclaimed land from the sea. To keep those links moving, whole taxiway intersections are being built on top of reinforced concrete boxes that hide 8-lane highways and jet fuel mains. It's the kind of choreography Heathrow and JFK have tried on a smaller scale, but never directly beneath a live triple runway. Surface roads will stay open, passengers never notice, and aircraft roll overhead at 30-second intervals. Terminal 5 will also be seamlessly linked to Singapore's urban fabric. An all-new MRT extension will directly connect Terminal 5 to downtown Singapore, slashing travel time to under 30 minutes. This dedicated Changi East MRT line is set to be one of Singapore's fastest and most efficient metro links, with trains arriving every 3 minutes during peak periods. Passengers arriving or departing will move effortlessly between terminals via driverless automated trains. A vast central retail spine, designed to mimic a bustling city boulevard, will offer high-end shopping, world-class dining, lush gardens, and tranquil lounges, turning layovers into leisure. And for many travellers, Singapore's most attractive feature is the experience, and Changi certainly knows that. To match the scale of Terminal 5, Singapore Airlines is building an entirely new suite of flagship lounges. Spanning over 6,000 square meters, this lounge complex will redefine premium travel across every class. First, business and elite gold members will get dedicated spaces designed to reflect Changi's high bar for comfort. Think spa-style shower rooms, sleep pods, curated dining from Singapore's top chefs, and sweeping airside views. The business class lounge alone will feature dedicated zones for rest, productivity, and dining. The first class section, a la carte meals, private day suites, and concierge service. Even the materials have been carefully selected. Singaporean stone, lush greenery, and soft lighting combine to create a boutique hotel feel inside an international airport. These lounges are becoming sanctuaries for long-haul travellers, and they're just one part of how Terminal 5 turns a stopover into a destination. But scale alone doesn't justify a $10 billion terminal, the economics do. Aviation already makes up 5% of the country's entire GDP, powering everything from tourism and logistics to aerospace and finance. That's nearly 200,000 jobs tied to the air hub, and millions more across the wider economy.
To ensure sufficient resources to develop our air hub, I will top up the Changi Airport Development Fund by $5 billion.
That was Singapore's Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, and there's a reason that the majority of citizens support this move. Singapore isn't alone in the aviation race. Bangkok is expanding Suvarnabhumi, Malaysia is upgrading Kuala Lumpur, Hong Kong's third runway is now fully operational, and Jakarta just opened a $730 million terminal at Soekarno-Hatta. Stack those projects side by side and you get a league table like this. Fall off that list and you lose the long-haul routes that feed entire economies. For Singapore, connectivity is currency, and whichever city becomes the dominant hub will capture the tourists, the routes, and the investments that come with it. So adding more gates isn't enough, not when rival hubs are expanding too. So Singapore is going smarter. Terminal 5 will use a system called Aircraft 360, powered by AI to monitor every step of a plane's turnaround. From aerobridge docking to baggage loading, it flags delays in real time and keeps aircraft moving. Autonomous tugs, automatic gates, and predictive software will boost stand productivity by 15%, giving Changi a critical edge in the hub race. And this is just phase 1. The third runway system will go live by 2027, and Terminal 5 is slated to open in the mid-2030s. Next in line is the 44-hectare Changi East Cargo Hub, an automated high bay warehouse that will stack 340,000 ULD pallets 40 metres high, integrate a perishables corridor for Southeast Asian seafood, and push total freight capacity to 5.4 million tonnes a year, matching Hong Kong's throughput while using half the land. And if demand keeps climbing, Phase 2 could add even more gates, more stands, and even higher capacity. Because in the global race for aviation dominance, standing still is falling behind. This isn't just an airport, it's a $10 billion bet on the future of flight, and we're here to follow every step of the build. So make sure to subscribe to Airside Vision for more cinematic deep dives into the world's most ambitious transport projects.